What's going on, guys? Jed Finn here, Tennessee on the screen. Yeah, my commander, William Sims. These numbers you're seeing here are the numbers with William Sims as the commander with that current leveled up status. They haven't given it the additional engine mod. I haven't unlocked that yet, but before this next update, I will have that ship that ship being the Tennessee fully leveled up, so I can buy North Carolina. I'm very excited to get North Carolina and ultimately Kansas, but you got to grind the line, and this ship is a pleasure to play. Okay, this early off in the match here, especially on this map, I don't like to push in right away. I like to kind of let my destroyers push in a little bit. So you see there, I'm just kind of chilling for a half second. Brittany pops up on the screen. As soon as Brittany pops up, right, we get the engine going. We kick it into gear. And Julio Cesare goes broadside. This is just going to be a hilarious game because all the sinkings you're going to see in this game. This to me is the ultimate pinnacle of what American battleships can do. They're not fast. I was trying to say they're not fast, and somehow I almost said they're fast. Wow, yeah. This thing is a slow lumbering tank, so make your movements wisely. It's the best advice I can give you. You need to plan out where you want to go, where you're going to go, and how you're going to get there before you even start engaging. And the reason why I say that is because you just start sailing, and you're not paying attention to which direction you're sailing, which direction on the map you're sailing, etc. You're going to put yourself in a position where you are not going to be able to influence a game once the battle lines have been redrawn. And what I mean by when the battle lines get redrawn is once, for example, let's say we get C, they get A, and they don't have ships toward B, we don't have ships toward B. Well, now I'm going to spend how long getting from C to B if I'm by that furthest southern island to the east of C, if you're looking at the map, the long little finger island, right? That's the furthest east southeast. If I go from there, and that's where I was when we engaged and I took C, or we took C as a team, and then I have to sail to the northwest point of B to engage, I'm going to be sailing for minutes on end with a ship that's very, very slow. So you see there, we take the Brittany down. That's our first sinking. So that's a good start for us. Note that we've already lost 2 friendly ships at this point, and we're 3 minutes into the game? Actually, not even 3 minutes in. So 2.5 minutes in, and we lost 2 ships. So we're losing a ship a minute here. Won't be much longer now for the rest of the game, I guess, huh? Because we just lost a third. So Icarus shows up, and he's going to be the second victim. That goes down via the mighty American Tennessee. The American Might. What do I like about Tennessee? So if you like, let me just put it the simplest I possibly can. If you like the California, right, you're going to like the Tennessee. And the reason why I say that is because Tennessee and California were sister ships until the California's refit, which it exists in the game in its refit status. Okay? So there's our third sinking. So enemy has lost 3 ships. We've sunk all 3. 37,000 damage. That's our third sinking. We are now in this A cap, which is good because we're now preventing the Reds from accruing points from it, and we're starting to flip it too. So it's a double positive there. Anybody who says that you can't capture bases or do anything like that in a battleship, I disagree with. I agree that there are certain situations where you should not go into the cap, i.e. when it's a critical situation that if you get shot and the cap resets, you're going to lose, right? So if those are the situations, then yes, let your destroyer, let your cruiser handle it. And that's when you don't just abandon him. You don't just say, well, he's on his own, I'm just going to go sail the opposite direction. No, you sit just outside the cap and you perform something called a cap and screen. Now, this is getting into a lot deeper into what philosophy of what a battleship should be doing or whatnot. But basically, what you're doing is you're going to sit either in front or behind the island and impede enemy cruisers, especially from wanting to push into that cap and go after your destroyer. So basically, you're going to effectively help your destroyer cap by protecting it, right? And that's essentially your job as a battleship. You're the deterrent. You're the guy who holds the line and creates gridlock on the map, if that makes sense. Now, you see here I got Hawkins, the Hawkins, which is not actually a horrible ship, but you see here, you use that auto aim feature with the Hawkins against the Hawkins, and yeah, these guns are very, very dangerous against cruisers. So that's the 4th sinking here for us, up to 72,000 damage. 4 sinking, and yeah, that's the 4th enemy ship loss. So Giulio Cesare is living on the edge here. He's flat broadside to us, or, well, slightly angled, but giving a large chunk to us. And we tried to use the auto aim feature. Didn't end up aiming very well. We sent another salvo, get about 3,000 damage, up to 76,000 damage. So if you notice how this game is playing, I don't know why, but we have friendly blues that are sailing up the far east side of the map. Don't do that, okay? I'm not calling these guys out in particular. I don't. I understand you. If you're not playing the game seriously, it's tier 5. Who cares, right? But in general, I'm talking to the people who really want to get good at the game and want to improve, like I want to improve, right? So I want to be as good of a battleship player, as good of a cruiser, as good as a destroyer player as I can. And by sailing up that side isn't the best play, but you're going to notice we've been chunking this Giulio Cesare, and then we get actually a pretty big chunk back. Tennessee's armor is not special, right? It's nothing spectacular. So for a while on my U.S. battleships, I was running not William Sims, but I was running Willis. I was running Mr. Lee, and I still have him on my California. And the reason why I was running Willis was because, put it plain and simple, it helped basically create a tank that can attract damage. So all the squishy damage I'm taking wouldn't hurt as bad. So Cesare is playing with fire. He's been playing with fire since basically we've been engaging each other at the sea cap. And eventually here, you would hope, and it does, catch up with him. There's the High Caliber and the Kraken. We are what? Halfway into this game. Almost. Exactly, actually. Halfway into this game. We have 5 sinkings. Enemies lost 5 ships. So, you're going to see me get a little aggressive here and kind of blunder this up. And this isn't my best decision that I'm going to do here. And you're going to see me end up going down. And that's why I'm kind of talking and waiting and saving the talk about the Tennessee for that. Because we're not going to be alive for this whole match. And you're going to see some other people finishing this one out. And I figure that's a good time to talk about the Tennessee. And it's just a little bit of battleship gameplay and how I see battleships being played right now and how I think they should be played at this game and the way that the interactions within this game they should be playing, etc. So Emile Breton comes out there. We send a big salvo his way. Again, look at these guns. I want you to notice that this is tier 5 and there's another devastating strike. Oh mercy. That is, yeah, that one hurts. Now, see, right here, I'm saying, okay, well, I am now salivating, right? I got a broadside Ismail. I am basically, like, heavy breathing, right? Because this could be a 7 sinking game, I'm thinking. But unfortunately, he's smart. He knows what he's doing. He starts to turn out. And I'm hoping I have just enough angle on him to really hit him hard. Then I see the Dallas pop up. And I'm saying to myself, okay, big salvo there, and big salvo on the Dallas, instead of just understanding where I'm at and whatnot in the game. And that was probably not the best play to push out there, and that kind of put our teammate in a very bad spot. But this Omaha is a very good player, okay? Anybody who's a fan of the channel and a fan of watching people play, Legends knows who's in the Omaha. Okay, probably one of the best players in the game. If you watch T-Bull streams, if you watch Chili games, if you follow Chili games, incredible. The guy's incredible. So just take note on what he does here. He basically realizes that they have to protect the B cap, and he's going to do everything perfect. So again, just if you want to know how to play a cruiser properly, just watch this. Watch how Chili plays this, right? I mean, this is the perfect example of how to use island cover, how to engage, etc. So initially, when I was playing through this, I didn't realize that was Chili. And then on the replay, I was watching it, and I figured out that I was like, oh man, that's Chili. It's one of the best captains out there in the game. So, but he's doing a great job. He's obviously using map awareness here, just to kind of highlight what you're seeing. He's using map awareness. He realized that the Dallas pushed out. He's throwing some good salvos at this Dallas. Dallas is burning pretty badly here, and if you look at the way the score is, all he's trying to do is just protect the B cap as long as possible to prevent the accrual of points, right? So Dallas is absolutely getting rocked. Dallas is going to go down here any second. Chili knows that. He switches back to the California. So now we got, a 220 point lead. So again, we got the lead. Just keep protecting as much as you can the B cap, C cap, and then if we win by sinking, great. But try to just make sure you don't go down. Basically, is what it is. So honestly, it was pretty impressive game that he had, and he's actually going to be number 1 on this leaderboard, even with me getting 6 sinking. So again, that's something else that shows that it's the game that doesn't really care about sinkings and krakens or whatever. It cares about how you played the game, and he played this game very well, and because of that, he's going to get the XP, right? So, but briefly here, we got a couple minutes, and now we can just talk about Tennessee a little bit, where I see Tennessee, what I like about Tennessee, where I think Tennessee fits into this game a little bit. It's a U.S. Tier 5 battleship, okay? It's the simplest way I can put it. It fits in like all U.S. battleships that are the Dreadnought style, that big lumbering bear, okay? I mean, if you like Nevada, which is the Tier 4, and you understand how to play and engage that, then you're going to really see that, then you're going to be a fan of the Tennessee. You're going to like what the Tennessee provides. You're going to like how the Tennessee plays for the most part. But in general, right, the rule of thumb for me is you have to plan out how you're going to engage before you engage. And what I mean by that is that what I was talking about at the very beginning of the game. You don't have a ship that has speed, so you cannot afford to put yourself in a position where you're going to influence the game in a sense, saying, "Hey, all right, I'm gonna push here, I'm gonna engage, then I'm gonna flip my back end around, I'm gonna sail the opposite end of the map, and I'll get into that scrap over there." You're not a fast cruiser. You're not like a 31 knot battleship, right? You're not a 35 plus knot cruiser destroyer that can have that flexibility, agility, engage here, hit and run, re-engage in here, do all these good things. You don't have that ability. Okay, bottom line. Whether you want it or not, it doesn't matter. You don't have it. You got about 20 knots in the water. Okay, so make it count is what I'm trying to get at. And by doing how you do that is by knowing where you are on the map, knowing where the enemies are on the map outside of where you are currently. And if you're going to win a flank, hey, okay, we're going to win this flank. I'm going to start trying to angle myself to re-engage in the future while still engaging here and finishing and mopping this flank up, right? I'm not going to sit here and keep engaging and sailing toward them away from the future engagement when I know for a fact I have this mopped up, right? For example, right? If you're kind of following what I'm saying here, I know it's not the best explanation, but basically I'm saying know what you're going to do in these battleships because you have to plan your moves ahead because you don't have the luxury to re-engage in the future. Okay, the guns are very accurate, especially with Billy Sims. as your commander. These are devastating guns. You saw that. We ended up with 2 separate devastating strikes, 6 sinkings, and 3 citadels. A Kraken, 128,000 damage. So do not sleep on the Tennessee. Go out there with this thing. I would recommend using William Sims, and give him a shot, because I think he's the best option for this commander. And again, it's this alternate U.S. battleship line I think is actually pleasurable to play. I hope you guys ended up enjoying this video. If you did, please leave it a like, and please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. By next week, i.e. tomorrow, today's Sunday, July 18th, once I get the one round of the the weekly missions, I'm gonna end up getting Georgia. I'll have a video out for you guys. 2600 base XP. Again, if you liked it, please leave a like. We will see you guys out on the high seas.